All right, I think we'll get started now. So once again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining in today. This is the Ask Us Anything webinar about Solar Decathlon India. I am Yashima Jain, a member of the core team of Solar Decathlon India, and I have with me Prasad Vaidya, who's the director of SDI, and Amanda Thanajam, who's a program manager at SDI. We are here to answer all your questions regarding SDI today, and please feel free to send in any questions that you might have in the Q&A window, and we'll take all of them towards the end of the session. There's a short presentation that we would give, and then we'll get into the Q&A round. So any questions that you have, please feel free to drop them in during the session. Before we begin, I would like to thank our supporters, partners, and affiliates. These organizations have provided immense support to Solar Decathlon India and have really catalyzed our transition to a net zero future. Uh, just to give you a little background about what Solar Decathlon India is, it's a challenge for undergraduate and postgraduate students. You get to learn to design net zero energy and water buildings and come up with solutions that are practical and affordable. You will work in a team and you will have to get super creative, super innovative. That's the whole idea about SDI. And you also get to work on a real branding project. And to help you learn about net zero buildings and master the fundamentals, we provide you with a lot of resources. You get learning materials from SDI, and we also assign a mentor to each team, which is called a technical resource group mentor that is available to answer all your queries and help you get through all the requirements of the competition. These mentors are industry experts, and you will also work with your own industry partners. So you'll have a pool of different experts uh, to work on the project. So all in all, when you graduate from SDI, when you graduate from your institution and enter the profession, you'll already have made some contacts in the industry. So that's always a good thing to have contacts like that. And that's not it. We also provide you with soft simulation software. So each participating student and their faculty mentors will get two licenses for building simulation software. One is DesignBuilder, and the other is Climate Studio that is run by Solema. We will also host expert webinars and workshops to help you use these softwares during the course of this challenge. Additionally, in particular, DesignBuilder will conduct training sessions where you get to learn the software and you get to ask questions directly to the experts who work on DesignBuilder. And just also to give you a brief background, I have a few examples from our past reports, just to get you to know about what you would really do. One thing is you would learn how to do deep sustainable design. You will learn all the roles that professionals play when they work on such buildings. So integration of building science in design is a very important aspect that you will get to learn through this challenge. This is one of the examples from our teams that worked. I think they were the winners in the last year challenge. So this is just an example of the kind of work that is required to be done. Next, you also get to do a lot of innovative work. You will get to develop a lot of innovative engineering, and you will also get a chance to test your ideas. We ask all our participants to focus on embodied carbon when they pick their construction materials, in particular during the challenge, and there are multiple other requirements as well. And lastly, we have a new division, which is the product division. This is where you would actually get to develop tested prototypes. So this is a new division that has come up this year, and you can find more about it on our website. And you can also, if you have questions about this, please feel free to ask about that. Next, this is all the past work that I just talked about. But if you want to learn more about the past work, Solar Decathlon India has run through 3 cycles now. This is the 4th cycle. So we have a pool of finalist work over the last 3 years that you have access to. So if you go to our website and under finalists, not under finalists, sorry, under past challenges, you will be able to find links to different years. And my colleague has also just put a link to that in the chat. So you can go ahead, take a look at the finalist work from each year. This is just so that you get to know the kind of expertise you will develop through this challenge and the kind of rigor that is required to submit a entry in the Solar Decathlon India Challenge. Talking about past work, there is also movies that our participants make. So you don't just become good designers, not just good innovators, but you also become great movie makers. Our finalist teams put in a lot of effort to develop these 3-minute videos that are hosted on our YouTube channel. So you can go and take a look at our YouTube channel, go to youtube.com and just type in Solar Decathlon India, and you'll be able to find playlists of different movie submissions that have happened. And also in general, there's a lot of video content that you would get to go through. So feel free to do that. And oops. Lastly, we also have the competition guide. So before you register, you must go through the competition guide in detail. The competition guide will answer many of your questions about the rules of the competition, the different division types, the different evaluation criteria, and also the timelines. It's important to know the timelines. Um, and all in all, the competition guide is an effort to answer all your questions and keep you guided through the competition. But don't worry, if you still further have questions, that's what we are here for today. So feel free to ask any questions again. And just the competition guide will act as your guide as you navigate through the entire challenge. Now, what is the kind of exposure that you would get? You get to work on real projects, as I said. So your experience in the challenge will be quite far-reaching. You will be a part of a multidisciplinary team and interact with peers from a variety of fields. It's it's architecture students, it's engineering students, but we also allow students from different other fields. So it's important that you plan to make your team a multidisciplinary team. And what's the best part of this deal? You get to work hand in hand with the industry itself. So before you graduate from college, that's the kind of experience you get. You get to innovate on live, real projects and create a high ceiling for yourself. And each team gets to partner with a project partner and multiple industry partners. So your work is also recognized on all the Solar Decathlon India social media channels. And you also get cash prizes and recognition if you win the challenge. So, sorry, yeah, just the different stakeholders involved in the competition. And lastly, it's not just a challenge. You just don't end with designing a really cool building, but you also get a platform to secure internship opportunities as at the SDI finals. So these are just a few organizations that came at Infosys Mysore, where the finals had been conducted this year. And over 140 students actually interacted with these organizations and explored various internship opportunities. And lastly, what do you really need to do to register? Nothing much, just hit the website, uh, click on the register button, that's the homepage, and you would be directed to the registration portal. Um, and if you don't have a team right now, don't worry much. You just need one student team, which could be just you yourself, and one faculty member, and you can go ahead and register. And the registrations end by August 31. So make sure you register by that time. We usually are very strict with our timeline, so don't expect that we will push our timeline by a few days also. And once you have 5 team members, you don't have to wait for the end date. You get immediate access to our learning resources, and you can begin your journey with SDI. So there's no waiting like that. The moment you register, you get access to the simulation software, to the learning modules, and all other resources. So um, I have participated in US Solar Decathlon, and I can vouch and say that it's definitely worth participating. It's a great learning experience. You get a lot of opportunities. So if you're still on the fence, I would just recommend just go ahead, register your team, and it would be totally worth it. And that's all from our presentation today. And we'll now take some questions if you have. And Prasad and Amanda, if you want to add something, please go ahead.
Thanks, Yashima. I guess I'll just add and say that there are no stupid questions. So please feel free to ask anything. Besides, it's a webinar, which means that in case you feel like you are asking a stupid question, you don't have to feel ashamed, because nobody will know you're the one who asked the question, since it's anonymous. So feel free to ask any question that you feel like. The rule in Solar Decathlon India, if there is one, is when in doubt, ask. Don't assume. It's better to ask and ask the organizer or what should do. If it's a competition guide, we're happy to answer every question that you have. So today, feel free to ask any question that you want, and we will try our best not to give you stupid answers.
All right. We have a few questions coming in, so I'll take them one by one. First question is, from where do we access the software? Amanda, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So once, like Yashima mentioned, right, if at least minimum 5 team members kind of register for the competition as part of your team, all of you will start getting access to what we call as the learning modules, which also includes resources like softwares. So you will get a link to kind of log in to our learning management system. Through that, you will get all the softwares access. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Amanda. Next question. Do we have to have a project partner right when we register as a team? Prasad, do you want to take that one?
Sure. You do not need to have a project partner when you register as a team. You can search for your project partner as you go along. And yeah, so you have time, not a lot of time, but you do have time to find a project partner.
Right. Thanks, Prasad. Next question, is SDI different from other competitions? If so, how? Prasad?
Oh. Okay. I think all three of us can take this question and answer in different ways. So I'll say that a couple of things. So SDI is not an easy competition. It requires a lot of hard work. It requires a fair amount of investment of time, and it requires you to learn a lot of things in order to be able to meet the requirements of the competition. Unlike other competitions, we aren't necessarily depending on what you already know. We ask you to learn a lot of things as you go, so that over these 9 months, you become a real expert at sustainable design and net zero buildings and resilient design. And I can say that, and go on the record and say that we find every year that many of our finalist teams actually come up with work that is of the caliber of the best firms in India, professional firms in India. So many of the students, with their effort and the learning that they do, rise to that level of expertise. Very few competitions give you the amount of educational resources and support that we do. And I don't want to say we are the only ones, but very few do give these kinds of resources. So that's one way where it distinguishes. Amanda, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think Prasad, I mean, as a participant of Solar Decathlon US, I mean, I was also a participant. I think like what you mentioned, right? A lot of learnings. Uh, don't think about like mainly don't focus on winning this competition. Focus on what all you will get to learn through this competition. I think that is the most important part. You will get access to a lot of other stakeholders like industry partners, project partners, internship hosts, and I think this is what is different from other competition compared to SDI. And you'll get to work with other department of like in your same colleges or different colleges. You get to mix with different types of students. You get to work with them as a team. So you are actually preparing yourself as before you move out to the in the industry.
Great. Thanks, Prasad. Thanks, Amanda.
One more
Nothing
thing.
from my side. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing I want to add. I mean, you have to think of the 9 months of Solar Decathlon India almost as if you are taking a master's level course while you're doing, whether you're doing an undergraduate or even if you're doing a master's. This is like having another parallel master's going on, which the amount of learning that you get and the kind of experience that you get, the kind of relationships that you build. So the competition is really the vehicle for you to be able to learn everything, and you have to think of it that way. Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Prasad. All right, moving to the next question. Can SDI provide access to other team students other than architects? I think it's about learning resources. Yes, I mean, whoever registers. No, it's not. What do you think, Prasad? Sorry.
I think this is to can SDI provide access to other stream students other than architects? So I think they're asking, can we provide access to engineering, management, other types of
Oh,
product design, etc. students? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Prasad, do you want to go ahead and answer that one?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think on our learning management system, we provide a list of faculty members from all the colleges who have previously participated and are currently participating. That becomes like a faculty pool that gives your faculty mentors the access to others to be able to collaborate with them. And if that doesn't work out, if you want to reach out to us directly because for whatever reason you're not able to find non-architecture students to partner with, we will try our best to help you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Prasad. Moving ahead, next question. Can participants be from, yeah, I think we just answered that one. So it's not just to clarify, it's not restricted to just architecture or civil engineering students. You can get computer science, mechanical engineering, or even, people from like journalism background, management background, totally up to you. We allow those kind of multidisciplinariness in your team. All right, next question. Where can
In
we
fact,
find, sorry,
I think we encourage multidisciplinariness. So while we say that you should have architecture and engineering, we encourage you to get a social sciences person, product design, like Yashima said, computer science. It could be, somebody who has understanding of finance, somebody who understands construction management, a variety of things. Even people from a communication or journalism background can be helpful. Students from those backgrounds.
Yeah, we have also had students from like aeronautical engineering background, chemical engineering background before.
yeah,
So these students are able to come up with ideas on sort of how ventilation flow will work with the aeronautics and the stuff that they know about. And then the chemical engineering or field sciences people are able to research materials much better than the other students. So there's a lot of value that other students can bring.
right, great. Thanks, Prasad. Thanks, Amanda. All right, next question. Where can we find the first deliverable references? Because the website provides only the references of the final report. Well, you get only the final report. We do not share intermediate reports. So the final outcome is what you get to see, and that's what we share on the website. Yeah. All right. Next
Um,
question. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
when we do the cracking the deliverable report, you do show
Webinar.
examples of that time. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the
Yeah.
webinar. So there'll be a webinar that we'll conduct a few weeks before deliverable one. And at that time, we will show, not give you reports of the deliverable one examples, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We do that. We'll show like good and bad examples based on the outline of the reports. You'll get an understanding of what to do, what not to do, but the reports are not, available in public domain like that. All right, next question. What is the grading criteria for the project, like for different aspects like design, sustainability, affordability, etc.? Well, you need to go and read the competition guide, but there are 10 evaluation contests ranging from energy, water, resilience, affordability, embodied carbon, etc. These are just five that I mentioned, but there are five more. So you can go to the website, look at the competition guide, and that is also the judging criteria. So each contest has equal weightage, and you have to like do well across all 10 contests. That's also the judging criteria or the grading criteria. So yeah.
That's why
All
it's a
right.
decathlon, because there are
Yes,
10 con.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think when you go through the 10 contests, you will also kind of realize why do we kind of encourage like a multidisciplinary team for this competition.
Hmm. All right. Next question, very important. Many students get confused. What is the difference between an industry partner and a project partner? What is the kind of role that these two would play in the competition? Prasad, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Yashima, maybe you can bring up that slide again, which showed the two types, and I'll talk as I talk. So if you're participating in one of the 5 building divisions, which is like multifamily housing, construction worker housing, community resilient shelter, office building, educational building, these are our 5 building divisions. And then we have a product division for residential cooling retrofit. So in the product division, an industry partner is somebody who is going to give you some resources as you develop the product, and perhaps may be interested in the solution that you come up with. So let's say in the product division, you're working on developing a cool new combination of, a window come shading device comes some cooling, natural ventilation, contraption. And there might be a glass manufacturer who is really interested in making sure that your team does well, and that because you have a relationship with the college, or simply because you have an idea that they're interested in, so they might be giving you resources. They might talk to you about the kind of products that they currently have. And they might say, we are so interested in your product that if you come up with something innovative, we want to take it to market or something. So it can vary, but that's kind of what the industry partner's role is in the product division. In the building division, which is the 5 divisions that I talked about, you have a project partner. A project partner is essentially what architects call a client. This is an entity, could be a person, could be a company, or could be an NGO that actually is developing the building. So it could be an investor, it's somebody who owns the land, it could be somebody who's going to, invest in the construction and be able to then make the building. So an architect or an engineer doesn't necessarily qualify as a project partner. A developer or a building owner who can become a client for the project is the project partner. Their role then is to be able to give you the information about their project, the site, and what their requirements are, the building program, what their specific requirements might be, how they plan to use the building, how they plan to sell it, or how they plan to rent it, what's their business idea about building the building. So if it's an NGO, they might tell you that, we want to work with these kinds of people, and these are the people who will come to our building. And so you start understanding the users of the building. So that's the project partner in the building division. Now, in the building division, you also have industry partners who could be manufacturers of materials or equipment. They could be architects or engineers. They could be other types of consultants. So these are people who have certain expertise or certain manufacturing manufactured materials or equipment who you think might be relevant to the kind of solution that you're coming up with. So this whole thing becomes your resource to be able to build your solution. That's it,
Great.
Yashima. Thanks.
Thanks for that. All right. Next question. Being an architecture student, I don't understand much about thermal analysis right now. So will you guys be teaching us, about the calculations? Amanda, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah. Yeah, so we do understand that a lot of like architectural colleges don't teach building science, etc. Which is why we provide 11 learning modules. And these 11 learning modules are based on energy performance, your ventilation, passive design, etc. It also includes water performance. So these 11 modules kind of help you in developing your basic skills on building science, etc. So yeah, and it is mandatory for each team members to kind of complete these modules, because we want each team member to kind of talk the same language when it comes to building science. You want to add something, Prasad?
Yeah, I was just going to say all three of us are also architects, and there was a time when we didn't understand thermal analysis either, but we learned over time. And in our case, I think it took us a fair amount of time to learn this, but Solar Decathlon India and the learning materials that we provide will become your crash course so that you'll be able to learn the thermal analysis pretty quickly. The self-learning modules are very helpful. They give you a conceptual understanding as well as the methods to do the calculations.
Yeah, we provide tools, and like we mentioned, we provide softwares, and also we do conduct webinars on these specific softwares and also other technical webinars. Yeah.
All right. Next question. What students will get if they win or perform well? How many students get recognition, prize? Can you elaborate the benefits for students apart from good learning? Prasad, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah. You might do a better job of this, but I'll try. So obviously there are trophies and cash prizes for the competition, for the winners and the runners-up. But I'd say that, apart from learning and the cash prizes and trophies, the biggest benefit that you're going to get is the fact that if you're looking for a good placement, good jobs, the competition is a platform for you to build these relationships with the industry. And our career, fair or internship fair that we hold actually brings large organizations who have national as well as international reputation of working in the area of sustainability and climate change. And they are there because they know that students who have gone through Solar Decathlon India are the cream of the crop. So they're waiting to pick you guys up, and hopefully you guys are waiting to be picked up.
Right. And just one more thing I want to add is that, of course, there's a lot of learning, there's cash prize recognition. I think the question was very specific, like what students will get, of course, and how many students will get the recognition. All students would get the recognition. So if you have 15 members on your team, we would recognize you on our social media platforms. And the prize is given to the entire team, and it's up to you how you want to disseminate it across your team. But other than that, there's also this Design Challenge final event that happens. It happened in May last year at the Infosys campus in Mysore. There were over 800 people that attended the event, and there were students. There were over 3 to 400 students from across India who came in. So you get to meet your peers, develop those connections with them. You get to meet people from the industry. You get to meet your jury. So it's like a big event that is held, and you actually get to meet all the people who are involved. So you get to build all of those connections, I think, which is really important, at least in our industry, because it's a very close-knit industry, right? So it's good to know people like that. So that's I think, a really good benefit of participating in this competition.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
and I think,
you
sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
yeah, so I was saying I think you get to kind of, display, showcase your work in front of this 800 people. You can talk up, you get to talk about your project, your work, etc., which is also, I think, something that you will get uh, out of this competition. Yeah,
Right.
proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this finals event is kind of worth noting, because if you were to go to some conference where there are a lot of other industry people, engineers, architects, professionals, etc., you come there and when you're a student, you're just a student, whereas everybody else is the professionals, right? If there's an event that's held in the college, typically the speaker or the people who are on the stage are the stars, and again the students are sort of part of the audience. The difference between those events and the finals event is that it is the students who are the stars. It is your work that people have come to see. Yeah, they have come to meet you, and it's because you have reached the finals, which means that you've proved yourself to be of that worth and caliber. And I think makes you guys in a sense special, worthy of attention. And all of the teams who submit the deliverable 3, whether you're a finalist or not, if you have submitted deliverable 3, Solar Decathlon India recognizes you as an alumni. So you get to put that on your LinkedIn profile that you're a Solar Decathlon India alumni, and you become part of the alumni network. So you always have access to this community of professionals and students who are part of Solar Decathlon India. And right now there's probably like 4,500 or so of these students and professionals who are part of this community, and that community is growing.
Yeah. Thanks, Prasad. Amanda, you wanted to add something?
No, I think
No? All right. Okay, good. Great. All right, moving next. So next question, how many teams from an institute can register in SDI? If more than one team can participate, are there any constraints related to building division selection? There is no constraint. Y- Uh, each team can have up to 15 members. One engineer, one architect is mandatory. You can register as many teams as you want from one institution. You can participate in the same division. You can participate in different divisions. It's completely up to you. We give all that, like we give you the opportunity to, make that selection. Only thing that you need to follow is to have a minimum of 5 team members and a maximum of 15. Have one architect, one engineer. That's it. And of course, you would need a faculty mentor. So, yeah, that's all.
So
Anything you guys want
the
to add?
record,
Yeah,
so the record so far has been where one institution has had 12 teams register.
yeah, that's worth noting.
yeah.
And so it's important that you can have multiple teams from one institution, but you can also have one team made up of multiple institutions. So last year we had one team where there were 5 institutions from architecture, engineering, management, and I think one more stream, who had all collaborated into what they call a rainbow team.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and I think also to add here is that one faculty lead can lead multiple teams. So
Okay.
if you have, interested faculty lead from your same institution, but you want to, form multiple teams, the same faculty lead can lead all the teams.
Yeah, that's a great point, Amanda. I think it was also one of our questions. So thanks for taking that. Next question, what is the registration fee? So the registration fee is 6,000 rupees. And I think that's been consistent for the last 3 years.
Per
But
team.
yeah, per team. Yes,
It's
per team. So if you register 12 teams from your institution, it's 12 into 6,000 for you guys, for the institution, or yeah, that's how you calculate it. All right, next question. Can you elaborate on the mentor system which will be provided to the teams? Prasad, do you want to take that one? I think it's the TRG, Technical Resource Group question.
Yes. So I don't know exactly how many, but we have, I think, 50 plus mentors that we have this year. And each team will get assigned one of those mentors who you will have a direct relationship with, but you will have access to any of the other 50 plus mentors. So let's say that you have a mentor who is really good at, I don't know, structural design and doing cost effective construction and lean construction, and knows a little bit about water and energy, but you really want, and so that mentor's role is to make sure that you know the ups and downs of the competition, the deliverables, what's required, and that you're able to develop your design in a way that helps you to go through the stages of the competition while giving you the specific technical expertise. Now, you may say that, okay, but I want to have access to somebody who really knows a lot about renewable energy. So you go to the website and you look for the technical resource group, filter it by their expertise areas, find the people who are good at renewable energy, and then access any one of them. And usually a mentor will respond to you within 48 hours if you reach out to them, and then you can have the conversation about that specific technical topic. So you have one dedicated mentor, and then you have the pool of other mentors whom you can access at any time.
All right. Thanks, Prasad. I hope that answers your question. All right, next question. This year, product prototype development has been added to the challenge. Is there any plan for financial support or sponsorship to the prototype designing team? Prasad, do you want to take that one?
Amanda, you want to answer this one?
No.
Okay. No. So here's the idea. So we talked about this industry partner, right? So the industry partner is typically going to be someone who might be interested in your solution, and they might provide support in terms of materials, maybe the lab, maybe the testing resources that are required. So Solar Decathlon India itself currently isn't planning on providing financial support or sponsoring for the prototype designing team. We are depending on you and your faculty mentors to be able to find those. We do have a very comprehensive list of industry partners or potential industry partners who are in this area, related to sustainability, related to cooling, related to buildings, etc. So that we will give that list to you, and with the contact information of the people, and you can reach out to them. If for some reason we are able to have somebody who comes along and says, you know what, we want to sponsor the people who are developing or some, we will certainly let you know, well in advance. But right now, that's not on the table yet.
All right. Thanks, Prasad. All right, moving to the next question. I want to participate. I'm coming in the project with zero knowledge. How does the learning go for such a student? Well, it depends on what your background is. But it's irrespective of that, I think it's going to be a steep learning. The first phase of the competition is where you get to do all the self-learning modules. There are 11 of them. There are multiple videos in each module. So each module would have between 5 to 10 videos that you have to go through. There are questions that you need to answer. There are like activities that need to be done. There are additional resources that you get, different tools, calculators, both built in-house or publicly available. So we just collate all those resources, we provide them to you. But even if you have zero knowledge, I don't think you should shy away or think that, okay, what will I do? It is a steep learning, but it's a great way to learn about building science, because right when you get to learn about it, you also get to implement it on a real project, and I think that's the best thing to do, because you don't get to do that in your usual curriculum that you follow in college. You don't get to work on a real project, but SDI provides you a platform to do that. So you get to implement your knowledge on a real project. So I don't think there's anything to like fear about or be shy of. I think it would be a good experience for you overall. So yeah, but Prasad, Amanda, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think one thing that I want to add is we have had students from architectural, architectural students from first year, second year, it also, each year till now we have had like 3 years. This is the fourth year running. And every year we get students from, first year, second years participating in this competition. So I think if they can do it, why can't you? I mean, you could also do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah. So I'll just counter by saying that you are not somebody with zero knowledge. You've probably finished at least your 12th standard, and you've got all the knowledge that comes with that. You're probably in one of the architecture, engineering, or some professional streams in college. So you're getting knowledge that is related to that. There may be specific areas that you may not be aware of. Let's say, just for the sake of argument, that you don't know anything about net zero water. Don't worry about it. Solar Decathlon India is a team effort. It requires students to take up roles and learn and become experts on different areas. No one person becomes an expert on everything. You have to know enough so that you can design a project together, so that you know what the other person is talking about. But you may not be the water expert on the project. You may be the expert that, you come from a management team and you might say, I know project management, I can handle the financing and the value proposition, and I'll make sure that the cost estimation is great and that we are working properly and the team is working, and build up the soft skills of the team. So you come with that knowledge and you provide that to the team. Maybe you're an architecture student, you know how to design buildings, and you will learn about some other aspects. But the fact that you know how to design buildings is a huge, huge knowledge area that you already have. You know how to tackle a building problem. So don't worry. Don't think, first of all, that you come with zero knowledge. You come with a lot of knowledge. And then you are going to work together as a team to be able to solve this complex problem. And this is a mirror of what happens in real life. You get an office building project, or you're working on, a product design for something. It is never a single person's effort, and it's never a single person's responsibility. And that's how this competition, will go, and you learn what this real life process is about, so that you can tackle a problem while collaborating with others.
Great. Thanks, Prasad. Thanks, Amanda. All right, moving to the next question. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Next question. Okay, so what budget should we anticipate for a participating team? Ooh, that's a tough question, Prasad.
Yashima, when you guys participated in Solar Decathlon, what budget did you guys have?
Uh, we did not think that far ahead, frankly speaking, but there was this registration fee that we requested our institution to pay for us, which was, I think, $100 or something, because it was the US counterpart. And then other than that, in terms of like financials, um, I would say 4 members had traveled to the US. So we did like a crowdfunding, but that was just because, we had to travel to present our work and all of that. But before that, we did like site visit to our site, and, maybe did some prototyping. So we used facilities in-house available in our institution. So we try to use the resources that were available to us already, so that it does not like dig a deep hole in our pocket. That it does not happen anyways. So because you are a student in your college, you would get to use a lot of their resources. But other than that, like, I cannot like give a number like that. I think I can't come up with a number, but I'm just saying that you can plan and use the resources available at your disposal. Get your institution, to, help you out wherever required. But Other than financials, it would be a lot of sleepless nights if that's also counted. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really important that you need to be able to work really hard and, be focused on what your final goal is. So I think it takes a lot in that sense. So I think that also forms a part of your budget. Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
Prasad,
So
you
I
want to
guess
add something?
I think I'll just summarize your answer. You're paying the registration fee. You're paying that or your registration. Let's say that that's 6,000 rupees in your budget.
Hmm.
Then you might be doing a site visit. If your entire team is going to the site, you'll have to take into account the cost of it. If only a few members are going to go, you can take into account that cost. Whether your site is near or far, you'll have to decide. And then the other expense is that if you become a finalist, then you travel to the finals, and depends on where you are. The finals will most likely be held again in Mysore at Infosys campus. So your travel expenses to the venue is part of the cost for you. But from our side, we make sure that your stay and food is taken care of when you're at the finals. So that's not, it comes at no cost to you. If you're going to build a physical model, if you're going to build a prototype, that's a cost that will come to you. But often we see students who are able to use materials that either their institution has provided, the college is providing, or their industry partner provides in-kind support with materials. And sometimes they even, help with testing labs or metering equipment or measurement equipment, etc. For testing the materials, or testing the prototypes, or testing the innovations that the students have done. So I think with maybe this much information, you can work out your budget as to what your expenses might be.
All right. Thanks, Prasad. Um, Okay, moving to the next question. I think we have answered this, but I'll just take it once again so that there's clarity on that. So the question is, can a SDI team have faculty leads or student members from different colleges, universities, industries? If so, please suggest the maximum number of college universities along with the maximum number of faculty leads or student members permitted in a SDI team. Okay, I'll take it one by one. So can a SDI team have faculty leads or student members from different colleges, industries? Yes. Um, there is going to be one faculty lead and there could be other faculty mentors, but multiple institutions can participate. You can partner together and form a team. There is no cap to the maximum number. It could be two, five, or as many as you want them to be. Then next question is, what is the maximum number of Oh, I think I answered that one. What is the maximum number of faculty leads? So there is usually one faculty lead, there is one team lead, and other faculty members become the faculty mentors. So
Advisors.
faculty advisors, yeah. So that's how it works. But Prasad, Amanda, do you want to add more to this? I think,
No limit to the number of faculty advisors. So you can have,
yeah.
one faculty lead and a million faculty advisors. And good luck
Oh,
to you for taking into account all of their inputs. But there's
Yeah,
one embedded part in this question, which is, can a SDI team have faculty leads or student members? And there's a slash with industries written. So I just want to clarify that student team members have to be bona fide students of an undergraduate or postgraduate program at a university level. You can't ask a professional who has graduated and is no longer a student to be part of your team. You can ask them to become an industry partner. So if you have somebody who's a senior, is 2 years graduated and says, hey, I also want to participate in SDI, you can say, come, be part of the team, but you're not part of the student team, you're an industry partner. Okay.
hmm.
Faculty, of course, if they are coming as visiting faculty and are also part of the industry, no issues. As long as they're associated with your institution, they can be your faculty advisors or faculty leads. Amanda, you're going to say something?
yeah. So I wanted to give like examples of teams we have had where the team lead was from a different institution, and the faculty lead was from another institution. So that is also possible. You can partner with X number of institutions. Yeah.
All right, thanks. Great. Thanks, Prasad, Amanda. Moving, just one question here. So, is it only undergraduate, postgraduate, or do we also allow PhD students to participate? We do,
Yes, we
right?
encourage, yeah, we
PhD
do
student,
encourage PhD students as well to
All right,
participate.
great.
but to be clear, PhD is postgraduate.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
hmm,
but I think,
yeah,
Okay, just for specificity, you want to say PhD
yeah, so
students are also
masters as well
welcome.
as PhD students. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, master's and PhD. Yeah, yeah. All right. Next question. The project partner we select should have a project which is not yet executed, or it could be an existing project which we are redesigning. Prasad?
The answer is yes, which means that you can take an existing project which you want to redesign. However, we encourage you to take projects that are likely for this, where the project partner is likely to take your ideas and implement them, so that you get something real that comes out of it. So often what we see is that when students work on a project that is yet to be built, or is going to be built, or is in the initial stages of design, the student work actually influences what the project partner does in real life. But if it's already built and you're just going to do it as an academic exercise, we won't stop you. However, the chances of implementation are next to zero. So just be advised on that.
All right. Next question. Will you guys provide a project partner if we want? Prasad?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
So I might as well add a little bit more here.
Yeah.
We encourage you to find your own project partner. And then at some point, if you can't and give up and ask us, we'll give you a project partner. But finding a project partner is part of the learning experience. Remember that finding a project partner is the equivalent of finding a client when you're professional life. And here in Solar Decathlon India, you're actually offering your services for free. So, trying to get a client for taking no fees should really be a no-brainer for you. And it should be a really easy sale of your services. So try doing that. It's a good experience to have. If all else fails, we are there. We'll give you a project to work on.
Right.
Yeah. And we will also provide a project partner guide for you guys. You can take a look at that document, and then you will kind of understand how to, approach your project partner as well as industry partner for the product division. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing. If you really think, well, where the hell am I going to find a project partner from? Because these are like, developers, building owners. So first of all, if your faculty mentor or any of your faculty members from your college are able to find a project partner for you, somebody who knows a developer or a building owner or something, that's the way to go. That's the first stop. The second stop is all your uncles and aunts and parents, friends, family, and all of them. Somebody is going to know someone who is going to start a building of the type that you want to design. You will get them through your contacts. So think creatively of the kind of relationships that you have, and you'll be able to track down a project partner pretty easily. And if that doesn't work, come to us.
Just one question here. So is there a timeline until when can they come to us to get a project partner? There is, right?
There is, I think it's probably middle of September or end of September. I'm not sure right now. But
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, next question. It's also a problem many students or teams face. So, what if the project partner does not give us critique or takes their partnership seriously? Will the mentors or the technical resource group mentors help us out? Prasad?
Yeah, the mentors and the technical resource group can help you out on this. However, your first stop simply can be the other faculty members in your institution. It doesn't have to be your faculty lead or your faculty advisors. You can just go to somebody else and say, hey, we're developing this design. We want to do a 2-hour review with you. Can you do the crit for us? many times faculty members are happy to do this kind of work and give you inputs. So you can get that. Yeah.
All right. Next question is like a registration specific question. So I'm going to call it out, Amanda. This is something that falls under your domain. So the question is, we are a collaborative team of two colleges together. I am team lead from college A and lead professor is of college B. Issue is that the faculty information field shows college A data directed to him, which should be shown as college B. Is there a glitch or what should I do about this even though I filled correct data of the lead professor with registration? Please tell us what to do. Amanda.
Yeah, I think my first answer would be please write to uday@solardecathlon.in. But I'm assuming you're talking about lead institution here. So always the lead institution is the team leads institution. So which is why maybe the lead institution is shown as your college A, because lead institution is the team leads institution, even for faculty. Yeah, but please do write to uday@solardecathlon.in, and yeah, Yashima has put in the email ID. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Amanda. Okay, next question. Is there any basic thing that this competition demands? Well, it's not a demand, but like you're required to do certain things, and the competition guide is a good starting point for you to understand what is required to be done. So I would recommend go through the competition guide thoroughly. Each team member, I think that's registering should go through the competition guide, read through it, and then, sign up for it. You need to know what you're signing up for. It's not easy, as we've mentioned before. It's going to be a learning curve, but it's going to be a great experience. So if you're up for it, go for it. All right.
So I'll answer this in one more way. I think there are two basic things that you need to do to stay in the competition. One is that you should submit every deliverable, because if you don't submit a deliverable, you're disqualified. So the second is that every team member of your team should be completing the self-learning modules by some first week of January. If you don't, then your team gets disqualified. So as far as just staying qualified, these are the two basic things. Beyond that, there is all other stuff that Yashima talked about.
All right. Thanks, Prasad. Okay, next question. This is another one that we've been facing for past few years. So the question is, if a deliverable is in between of our university exams, studying in the third year or any year for that matter, is there a possibility of scope of change in the schedule?
Yeah, there is a change. The scope of change is there because you can submit your deliverable before.
Yeah. So the deadline is, for example, October 10th. You get a 2 weeks of advance lead time. So you can go ahead and submit it 2 weeks in advance. And you should be fine that you would be free during the week exams. But we do not change our timelines. We are very strict about it. So
yeah. So we do keep the submission portal open for that specific week. So you can submit it before or before the deadline.
Yeah, and if the submission portal is not open and you want to submit even before that, you can just send it into uday@solardecathlon.in. Now, there is something that that you need to understand, that each deliverable is reviewed by our set of reviewers. These reviewers are industry experts. They dedicate a certain amount of time, a week or 2 weeks, for us to be able to review the submissions. So let's say that deliverable 1 submission is on October 11th, and we are going to give you the comments back by October 23rd. So that's the 12-day period during which they work on doing all the submissions of 100+ teams that come in. So we can't shift the deliverable dates because these people are not available. And I think we just want you to understand that we're not being strict for the sake of it. This is one of the main reasons. The other reason is fairness. We don't know exactly what's happening on your end. So, just go ahead and submit it before. There are a few teams in the past who have done that when they say that, oh, there's an exam clash. Our dates are decided before they're published in the competition guide. So you know that deliverable 1 is due on X date, and if you say, okay, there's an exam coming up, just do the work before and submit it and stay in the competition.
Right. Thanks, Prasad. Next question. If anyone is an alumni of SDI and wants to uh, participate again this year, would they be allowed? So
Yeah.
I think they are allowed. You can participate as many times as you want, but you need to be a bona fide student. If you've graduated, then you can not participate. So we ask for bona fide certificates from your institution as part of your deliverable, I think 1 and 2. So you need to be, a student to be able to participate. Yeah. All right. We're coming towards like the tail end of today's webinar. Just a few more questions. Next question, can our own institution act as our project partner or industry partner if we desire? Prasad, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so sometimes we see where, especially in the educational building division, there are colleges or universities that are building a new building, and the students take up that building as their project. In that case, the educational institution can become the project partner for your team. But I can't imagine an institution becoming an industry partner, because I guess education institution is not really industry. But anyway, I mean, if there is some case to be made about that, you can write to us and we'll help you out.
Yep. All right, thanks. So there are a few people who've been raising their hands. I would suggest, you put in your questions. We usually do not allow, people to talk that way, like because we have a lot of attendees and, we cannot take like personal requests like that. So if you have questions, just put it on the Q&A and, we'll take that up. And just one last question, which is, I think, kind of important from like the plagiarism aspect. So the question is, in case of making infographics, can we take parts of images from internet and compose them together? Prasad, do you want to take that one?
I guess it's images. It's a little difficult to anticipate what level of stuff you're taking. Obviously, if you're going to take an entire image from another, place on the internet and put it, the least we would want you to do is to acknowledge the source. And if you're taking parts of images, we would want you to acknowledge the various sources that you're taking. I think there's a fine line between, giving credit to people's work and then doing plagiarism. So at this point, I would say, if you're in doubt, just make sure that you are giving credit to the source of whatever you're putting in the report. That way we'll know at least you're not trying to make a claim that it's your work.
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Prasad. Thank you, Amanda. I think those were the questions that we've got so far. We can wait for like a couple of more minutes. If you have any questions, you can just send them through and we'll take it up. But until then, we have a couple of more questions. Great. Okay. So next question is, by which deliverable should we get the project partner? Also, if we don't find a project partner, what are the steps to get a project partner from SDI? Amanda?
Yeah, so deliverable 1 is where we kind of ask about your project as well as about your project partner. And that's when you get to decide, also finalize your division. In case of not finding any project partner, you will have to write to Uday. And then, we will connect you with a pool of project partners that we have. I think you will have an access to the learning management system where you will get to see the pool of project partners and their project that they have, put up, etc. And you'll get to see all the details of each project. And you'll get to select. But we will send out instructions regarding this as soon as we end the registration to all the teams, to all the registered teams. Yeah.
All right. Okay, great. Thanks. Next question. Does the project taken need to be a live project? Prasad?
Or the opposite being dead project.
Well,
So by live project, we mean what? Is it a project that is being being considered by the project partner to be built? The answer to that is yes. So look, you're going to ask somebody else for their intention to build, and many projects that are considered so-called live projects often end up becoming dead sometime in the future, because the project partner or the developer or the owner changes their mind, or they don't have funds anymore, the bank doesn't give a loan, all kinds of stuff happens. So what you're looking for is intention to build. You are looking for intention to build and intention to give you information so that you can think of it as a realistic project. And think of it that way, so that find somebody who's serious, who has an intention to build a building, so that you get a real project, or at least in your mind and their mind, it's a real project to work on.
right. Thanks, Prasad. Okay. Those were the questions for today. And anything else you want to say before we close, Prasad, Amanda? Anything that, yeah, okay, sure, go ahead.
I just hope that, I just hope that all the people who have attended end up becoming part of one or another team, and are able to participate in Solar Decathlon India this year. And I really hope that all of you become finalists and we get to meet you in Mysore. And look forward to your participation in the competition.
Right. Thanks, Prasad. Amanda, anything from you?
Yeah. So if you have found your team leads and faculty leads, I think you should register as soon as possible. Because we have looked, the trend of registration from previous years, and that all the registrations happens on the last day, and we have a limitation, like team limitation of 175 teams this year. So if you register at the last minute and it's already 175 teams, you might not get this chance. So if you already have team leads and faculty leads, do register, and then you can start developing your other team members.
Yeah. Just, I think that's a great point you brought up. I think it's important to note that if you're participating in building division, there is a cap of 160 teams that we're allowing this year. And for product division, it's 15 teams. So the more you wait, the chance of you getting a slot, or like just like to participate in SDI would reduce, because we usually get a lot of teams between this time and towards the end of August. So as Amanda said, one member, one faculty lead, just go ahead and register, I think, and then figure out the rest after that. Yeah. All right. Great. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining in today. It was we had a good time talking with all of you, answering to all of your questions. If you have any further questions that come up later on, just feel free to write to uday@solardecathlon.india.in. We usually respond within 24 hours. And we hope, as Prasad said, we hope that all of you register. We get to see you at the finals. It's a great experience. From like I've participated, and it's an enriching experience, and nothing bad is going to come out of it. So go ahead, register, and we'll see you on the other end. All right, great. Thank you so much, and I will now close the webinar.
Thank you. Bye. All the best.
Bye.